If you're a musician going to networking events hoping to build your portfolio of contacts and increase your workload, you need to stop. Quick disclaimer before we start, of course you could still create contacts and create a network at networking events. I just think that if you're a musician and you value your time, you could definitely get a much better network and create more work by going to alternative ways of creating these networks. Number one reason that I think that networking events are no longer suitable for musicians is a lot of the people who are at networking events are trying to increase their work. So if you're going there to try and create contacts for your work, chances are most of the people who you meet will be in a very, very similar situation. Number two, most of the contacts that you make at these networking events will actually not turn into anything. And usually if they do, they just want something for free or for a ridiculously low rate, which is not a good use of your time. Number three, in today's modern world, you could actually create a much better contact base using stuff like Instagram, online tools, Facebook, creating content and putting it out there. There's actually a much better way you can create contacts and networks on a global scale without even leaving your house. Okay, so a place that I think that you should go to network if you can afford to get there is trade shows. Trade shows are events where music technology and pro audio brands will come to showcase new products, and you get everyone at these events from big producers to new composers, artists, you name it. Usually the people at these shows have already got a name for themselves, and getting in can take a little bit of understanding, but anyone can get to a trade show in essence. These trade shows, the biggest ones are NAMM, Music Messe, Superbooth, and then there's also loads of little ones that are circulated around the world in different international sort of premises. The reason I think these trade shows are a good way to create contacts is a lot of the people already have a name, and if you get in with them, then you can start to feed off their repertoire and understand how they create their contacts. This is a lot more valuable than going to a generic networking event, or even still a tailored music networking event. Okay, now the question that everyone's wondering is, how do you actually get to a trade show? So in most circumstances, you need to be going and being represented by a brand. This doesn't necessarily mean that you actually have to work for that brand, but you could try and get in using some sort of brand partnership deal. For example, I went to my first ever trade show with this company called Inside Audio. I met this company on Instagram. I started doing some blogs for them, some videos, and Lord behold, I ended up going to a couple of trade shows with them. Going to these trade shows was a really good way for me to network, build my actual database of contacts, and then when I got back home to my studio, I continued to work with these brands and then expand my portfolio to new work and new ways of working. This was also super helpful for when the pandemic hit, because it meant that when gigs shut down and face-to-face lessons and stuff like studio sessions shut down, the world of pro audio and the world of writing music for online permission continued to work. So trade shows is a really good way to kind of push forward with the future and see about new ways of working online. So if I was someone who really wanted to get to a trade show, I would say start looking now for online blogs and small pro audio companies that might need help with some videos, content, articles, stuff like that. Or maybe even you could start your own channel and review some of these pro audio brand companies and their products, for example, a plugin company, and then see if you do a little bit of free work for them, they might be able to help get you out to a trade show, which is really, really feasible. So I hope you found this video useful. I try to keep these videos really short and do them on a weekly basis. And if you want more information on how you can continue to increase your career, head over to academy.insideaudio.net, where we currently have a free crash course for those that have been adversely affected by the impacts of the COVID-19 crisis. See you in the next video.